Hey ladies, this is a very quick impromptu live, mainly because I'm feeling inspired. I wanted to quickly run through four different ways that you could get 1,000 subscribers to your email list this month. So I know that right now we're at the 10th of August, so you've still got 21 days to get 1,000 subscribers, which is definitely doable regardless of how big your audience is now. So, my top four ways to do that. The first one is ladder posts. So, ladder posts are essentially those ones where you see people say, like, comment below or, drop me an emoji below and I'll send you the link. Those kind of things. And essentially, what you want to do with your freebie, and obviously, you need some kind of opt in for people to opt into your list. So, what you want to do with your freebie when it comes to a ladder post is you want to talk about the problem that people are having right now and how what you're offering solves that problem or solves one aspect of that problem. And essentially, you want to say, this is the problem that you're having right now. This is sort of where where you're at right now. This is where you want to be, and this is how what I'm offering is going to help you solve that. If you want, a free copy of like this PDF or this audio guide or whatever it might be, drop me a comment below. And ladder posts work really, really well because of the way Facebook essentially the way the algorithm works for promoting the most popular posts or the most recently active posts. So if you put a post out and then somebody comments on it, it's at the top of the group. But obviously, as more people post in the group or even in like sort of the timeline, your post gets pushed down and down and down. But if you then comment on your post to like share the link or whatever it might be, that will bump that post right back up to the top because it's the most recently engaged post. And then it will be seen by, different people at a different time. And then obviously, as more people comment on it, it will stay closer to the top of the group. And as you reply to the comments, and so on and so forth. Essentially, that's why ladder posts work so well because they essentially boost your posts for free. It's using Facebook's algorithm to keep your post at the top. And yes, some people don't like them. Yes, some people feel that they're spammy. But essentially, if you've got something that is of value and you know it can help so many people and you know what you have to offer is good, why would you not put it out there? And essentially, why would you not use something that is free and that works so well to boost your business? Because ultimately, no matter how well you can help people, if you're not actively helping people and you're not actively telling people, here is how you can work with me, here is how I can help you solve your problem, here is, what I've got for you, why bother to be in business if you're not going to use the tools that are available to, promote your business? And I know that not everybody likes ladder posts and I understand the reasons why, but at the same time, if you've never tried one and you've just been told by somebody else, oh, they're spammy and they don't work, then try it because no, they're not spammy if they're done in a high vibe, non spammy way, and they do work. So if you've got any questions as I'm going through, feel free to drop them in the comments and I will get back to them as soon as I see them. So, like I said, ladder posts. Ladder posts work really well on Facebook because that is how the kind of Facebook algorithm works. So, my second point is blog posts and Pinterest. Blog posts are a really great way to get people to sign up to your email list. And all you essentially need to do is make sure that you have the kind of the sign up form, you've embedded the, nice fancy boxes at the bottom of your blog post or at some point in the blog post. And all you need to do is make sure that whichever blog post you've got at the time, even if it's just one blog post, I would recommend going back into other blog posts and adding in the sign up link. But essentially, if you've got a blog post that is, 5 ways to, I don't know, to lose £10 this month, and you've got a great like 30-day meal plan that's free, by all means add it to the bottom of that blog post. So having the sign up form on the bottom of your blog post or somewhere in your blog post is going to increase your sign-ups, but obviously you then need to promote your blog post. So I know that a lot of people will like share the link on Facebook, or they put it on their business page, or they'll tweet it, they'll link to it on Instagram, whatever it might be. But don't forget about Pinterest. Pinterest is something that it's so easy to set up, especially if you already have all your blog posts kind of written and they're already there. All you need to do is use your own share buttons on the bottom of your blog posts and share it to your Pinterest account and connect it to a Pinterest board. And that is it. It will have the URL of the blog post it came from. It will have the image. Obviously, you want to change the description slightly. But don't forget to utilize Pinterest, because not only is Pinterest evergreen, but it's something like 80% of content on Pinterest that is pinned is actually just repinned from somewhere else. Only 20% of content on Pinterest that's pinned is ever new content, is ever created that first time it's pinned kind of thing. So by just going back through your blog post, making sure that you have some kind of sign up form on each blog post, or even a link to the next blog post, because essentially when somebody comes from Pinterest to your blog, they're interested in the specific thing that you've been talking about in that pin. Once they've read that blog post, where do they go from there? So it's essentially like having breadcrumbs. Once you've, if you've talked about, like I said, like 5 different ways to lose £10, maybe the next blog post could be 5 different water flavourings to make sure you get your, however much water you need to drink a day in, or like 10 exercises you can do with your kids, or whatever it might be. Obviously, it doesn't have to be health related, but you get my point, that you want to tell them this is where you should go next. So whether it's you should sign up for my email list because I've got this awesome free thing, or you should read this blog post and at the end of the next blog post you've got to sign up, whatever it might be, just go back through your blog post and make sure that either they link together or they link to something else. Don't leave that person hanging. If they've come from Pinterest or Instagram or Facebook or wherever and they've read that blog post, what do you want them to do next? So like I said, have that next thing, and if it's not an email sign up, link to a blog post that obviously flows, that has an email sign up. And it's not going to take you very long to go back through your blog post, even 5-10 blog posts, and literally just embed something at the bottom and click the share button to make sure it's on Pinterest. It really isn't going to take very long. You could sit down and in an hour you could have it all done, So like I said, blog posts and Pinterest work really well, but mainly, like I said, just blog posts, making sure that you have a sign up form on your blog posts. So the third thing is Instagram. Have I said it's Instagram? I'm going with Instagram anyway. But yeah, essentially Instagram, making sure that you're also advertising your freebies on Instagram. You do get one link, which can be kind of detrimental, but you can use things like Linktree, which is linktr.ee, and that will allow you to essentially have another page that pops up that's full of different places people can go. So, like for example, if you go to my Instagram, I've got a Linktree/Cass Davis Coach. You click on that, and then it has things like my 90 days of content freebie, a link to my website. It's essentially a link to a page full of links, which is awesome, because then you only really need to change that last little bit in your bio to say, are you struggling for content, or are you struggling for passive income ideas, or are you struggling to lose that last £10, whatever it might be. You only ever need to change that and change the order of the links in Linktree, which is a case of dragging and dropping, and people can click through and get taken straight to your freebie. But the only way they're going to see that is if you're your post on Instagram actually talks about your freebie. So again, like Facebook, it is all about, just making sure that you're talking about the problem, talking about where they are now, where they want to be, and why whatever you're offering is the solution they need right now. And just as a case of on Instagram, just having, link in bio, which will direct people straight there. So, I've now forgotten what my my fourth post was, my fourth tip, which is great because I can't actually see it now that I'm on my phone doing it. But yeah, essentially, like I said, it's just making sure that you do promote it, because if you're not promoting your freebies, nobody's going to sign up. And obviously the point of even creating the freebie in the first place is to have people sign up. So one bonus tip, which I know is not my fourth tip, but I will get back to that, is to have more than one freebie. You can't just have one. And if you've only got one right now, then obviously promote that one. But if you've got more than one, the aim of the game is to get people onto your list. The aim of the game isn't necessarily just to have people sign up to only that freebie. Oh, that was my fourth point, your website. So if you've got a link to your freebie, a sign up, right on the homepage of your website, which I would thoroughly recommend, as in literally just below the the header image, having a sign up, because if people want to know more about you, they're going to sign up. But also, like I said, having different freebies on your blog posts, having something that you promote only in your Facebook group or whatever it might be, or having a separate freebie sign up that is only on your Facebook page, and utilizing the button under the kind of header image. Have different ways for people to sign up, have different things for them to sign up to, because not everything you put out is going to be for everybody in your your ideal clients, your niche. But also, it depends on what the problem is that they're struggling with right now. If you know that they are struggling to, I don't know, like lose 10 pounds, then great, having like a 30-day meal plan to, get them clean eating or whatever it might be is great. But if actually now that it's summer and they're home with the kids, their biggest problem is actually fitting in their workouts around trying to keep their kids entertained, that clean eating freebie isn't going to be for them, because that's not what they're concerned about right now. What they really need is something like, 15-minute complete body workout that you can do with your body weight, like no equipment needed, at home workout, 15 minutes for your entire body. That's what they need right now, because they can find 15 minutes for themselves to get some exercise in, even if they've got kids running around here, there and everywhere. So like I said, it's having lots of different things, because if you have more than one thing, people will come across it at different times, and if it is that time where actually they need that, they'll sign up for it. But if you've only got one thing and they keep seeing the same thing over and over and over again, once they've signed up for it once, obviously they're not going to sign up for it again. But also, if it isn't what they need right now, they also won't sign up for it. So like I said, having different freebies works really well. I've got realistically 3 freebies that I kind of rotate all the time. I've got a 90-day content creation PDF. I've got a 30 passive income ideas PDF, and a passive income checklist, which, like I said, they all work really well. And I do, like I said, I rotate them, so it's not the same thing all the time. My different blog posts link to them. I've pinned them on Pinterest. I share them on Twitter from time to time. I talk about them on Instagram from time to time. And then on my Facebook page, I do direct people to join my Facebook group, obviously this group. But I also make sure that from time to time I promote my freebies in my Facebook group. Because if people have come from somewhere else and they've seen my page and they've gone from my page into my group, they obviously know, like, and trust me enough to join my group. But also, once they're in my group, they'll have seen, the value I put out. They'll have hopefully watched my live streams or listened to my audio broadcasts. And they'll know me well enough to say, yeah, okay, I'm going to sign up for that because I like all the other stuff she's put out. And I know that she's probably not going to fill my inbox with spam. So, it's much easier then to obviously grow your list, again, from your Facebook group, because people already know, like, and trust you. So, you're probably thinking by this point, like, where does the 1,000 people come in? Because obviously I said these are things that you can use to grow your list by 1,000 people this month. But realistically, you can use these to grow your list by, 50 people, by 200 people, by 1,000 people, by 5,000 people. It really just depends on what you're doing, how often you're doing it, and what you have to offer. Because ultimately, it is about your, like, the copy that you put out in your post. It is about how you position what you have to offer, but it's also about, being in the right place at the right time sometimes. And as much as that kind of sucks, it is what it is, that as long as you're putting it out there, as long as you're giving people the option to sign up for your list, people are going to do it, which is why I've said about, blog posts and Pinterest and all of those kind of things, because especially on Pinterest, because everything is evergreen, you never know when somebody's going to find your pin, when somebody's going to click through and read it and think, yes, I need to sign up for this. So these are the kind of things that you can put into place now that you will see, you'll reap the benefits from for months and months and months to come. Especially, like I said, with Pinterest, because it is so evergreen. But also, like ladder posts, I have so many times like doubled or added like 50% more people to my email list from a ladder post over the course of a weekend. I've done it 3 weeks in a row where I've added over 100 people each time from one post in one Facebook group, thanks to a ladder post. And that's, three different freebies, 3 different weekends, one post. That's 300 people signed up, over 300 people signed up to my list in less than a month. So if you were to do that in, 4 different Facebook groups that allow it, obviously, and where the audience is bigger, and you had 200 people sign up for each one, that's 600 people in 3 weekends. Done. It is so easy to do, and it is so possible regardless of how big your audience is now, provided that you're actually out there, you're actually posting what you have to offer, and it's something that people want. So, like I said, that is my kind of top 4 tips for growing your list by 1,000 people. And the thing is, if you implement them all and you don't grow your list by 1,000 people, however many you grow your list by is still more than if you had done nothing. So if you use those 4 tips and you grow your list by 500 people, that's awesome. If you grow your list by 50 people, that's awesome. If you grow your list by 5 people, you get 1 sign up from each single one. That is still 5 more people than you had before you started. And the thing is, once you have people on your email list, you have an audience to sell to, essentially, but also you have that lead then on your list, and then it's time for you to to nurture that list, to turn that lead from a cold lead into a hot lead who cannot wait to buy from you. And at the end of the day, if you've got 5 new people on your list and all 5 of them sign up for a discovery call, or all 5 of them buy a self-study course that you've got for like $200 a piece, you're still making money. Would you rather have 100 people on your list who don't buy anything from you, or 5 people who buy absolutely everything? So, obviously, if you're listening live and you've got any questions on any of this, do let me know. If you're catching the replay, I suppose you're not watching, you're listening. Thank you very much for listening live, and thank you very much for listening to the replay. Any questions, do let me know. Feel free to post them in the comments. I'm not pitching anything on this audio live stream, so don't feel you have to kind of drop off now to avoid the pitch. There is no pitch. I am literally just sharing value. So I'd love to know what questions you've got. I'd love to know whether you've tried any of these things. I'd love to know if you've got any tips to make my 4 tips better. Let me know if you've tried them and you found something else that works really well, because that's what this group is for. We want to share value. We want to help each other learn and grow. And ultimately, it's that kind of oh, what's the word I was looking for? You know, the phrase that a rising tide raises all boats or something like that. You know what I mean? So, any questions, any comments, let me know below and I will get back to you ASAP. So, thank you very much for listening live if you listened live, and thank you very much for catching the replay if you got the replay. Bye.